It is my expressed honor to welcome you all here today. We do have many esteemed guests with us, and they will be speaking shortly as well. But before we begin that, I would like to acknowledge that we are on the traditional lands of Treaty 7 of the Blackfoot Confederacy. That includes the Piikani, the Kainai, the Siksika, also the Stoney Nakoda, which includes the Chiniki, Bearspaw, and Wesley First Nations. And of course, closest to us in proximity is the Tsuut'ina Nation. Calgary is also home to Métis Region number 3, and to all of us that make Calgary our home.
I've been in contact with many community leaders over the past couple of weeks as this all came together, and I've seen that the work that you're doing actually reflects what they want to see. It reflects the feedback that we're hearing from community members at the ground level. And we couldn't do this kind of outreach effort without your help, because you are the ones who are closest to the community. Know this, that COVID doesn't discriminate. Its presence is felt in every community across the province, but the impact it has in certain neighborhoods is clearly more prevalent. That's very clear in Northeast Calgary, where many of the people who have been exposed to the virus are frontline workers who don't have the option of working from home. Their public-facing jobs mean their risks for contracting the virus are amplified. Many families live in multi-generational homes as well, just as I do, and there can be very real challenges in isolating effectively. As you know, I've been very clear in my communications on this situation that we have to be careful not to stigmatize people or communities while recognizing that we need to do better, to do more, to ensure that the public health measures are communicated in a way that resonate, in a way that penetrate into communities that experience very real barriers.
And so a few weeks ago, I had the opportunity to be in a phone call with the Premier and with the Mayor of Edmonton, in which the Premier was expressing his concern about what was happening in Northeast Calgary. And at the end, the Premier said, I think what we need to do is set up some sort of a community task force of people who understand the community and who understand the agencies that are working on the front lines, and ask them for a plan. And I said, Premier, I'll get you one in 45 minutes on it. So all I had to do was make one call. I called Anila. And she said, well, I'm just in the middle of a meeting talking about this. And I said, great, get me a plan and get me a budget as soon as you can. And within a few hours, we had a plan and we had a budget that I was able to share with Minister Sawhney and with the Premier, because these agencies have been working on these issues since the very beginning.
I was pleased to announce a short time ago that IRCC is supporting the Calgary East Zone Newcomers Collaborative through our contributions to Direct Settlement Services and the Calgary Local Immigration Partnership. The strong relationships forged through this collaboration will provide the foundation for a stronger, more resilient community and a stronger Canada. This approach to providing settlement services was pioneered during the last IRCC calls for proposal, and it will go a long way towards helping newcomers know where to access essential services. When Canadians think of the immigration process, they often overlook the exceptional efforts of those in the settlement community, those who devote countless hours to ensuring that people arrive here to start a new life and to ensure that you have all the support that is necessary to be successful, so in turn those newcomers can be successful. It is, and you are, an integral, vital step in ensuring that they have all of the tools that are necessary to build a foundation upon which we all grow stronger.
When we look back to the clock ticking to 2020, I don't think any of us realized how difficult it was going to be. None of us realized how many sacrifices we would have to make, how much of our lives would change. And there's not any one organization that can do this alone. And that's where looking at all of the faces and the organizations on the screen it's so incredible. It really does take all of us in our little niches to connect and collaborate to be able to do a lot of this work. And I remember getting that phone call from His Worship that said they need these community tables stood up and we need to work with community organizations. And Anila, he gave me your number, and through our Calgary Neighborhoods folks, it was off and running, and what seemed like an insurmountable challenge at the time became a 45-minute thing to put together and to help support. So the East Zone Collaborative, the Newcomers Collaborative, is truly best practice. When we get the chance to talk to other cities about what's happening in Calgary, the silence on the other end of the line is incredible. And they look at us and say, how do we get to have that in our community? And we have learned that the hard way in Calgary. We've had some big disasters that have impacted Calgary, and we keep learning and growing and understanding how to do these things. And the collaboration and the cooperation is just so needed to ensure our communities are supported in a way that they need to be supported.
We are absolutely looking for donations, specifically for things that are comforting to people that are experiencing symptoms of COVID and are in isolation. We can't do this without all of you as organizations, and without all of you as ethnocultural community groups, faith-based groups, other social services agencies and community groups. And so we'd really love to hear from you in terms of, what you're doing, how we can tap into the wonderful work that you're already doing. If you have capacity to be able to take on more assistance, what that looks like and how we can coordinate all of our responses.